Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy ProGammar here, and that's right, guys. If you guys are seeing the title for this video, it's not clickbait. I've actually been tested for COVID-19. Now, before I get too far in the video, I just want to make it clear from the get-go that I tested negative, so I don't have the virus, but I kind of figured I just want to, make this video to let you know what my experience with it was and, how the whole testing process goes. And so if any of you guys ever have to go through the test, you kind of, at least will have some kind of an understanding on, I guess, what happens and what goes down and how it all goes. So, yeah. So first off, guys, I kind of just want to mention that right now in Australia, the whole COVID-19 virus, although in most places of the world it's absolutely dreadful, where everywhere's locked down or there's millions and millions of people infected with the virus. Right now in Australia, I don't believe it's too bad. At least in most areas, life is mostly back to normal now. Yes, of course, when you go out, some people were wearing masks and people trying to stay that whole 1.5 meters apart type thing. But apart from Victoria, which I believe is the only state in lockdown, for the most part, every state is back to just living life how we used to, or how we normally did, with, I guess, like I said, a few slight changes. So now, how did it go down? Why did I get tested for COVID-19? What happened? What caused all this? So basically for me, with everything going on with the whole COVID virus thing and all the symptoms and how it's so infectious to everyone, I'd come down at one point with what I believe to be just the standard cold, a bit of a runny nose, a bit of a sore throat, stuff like that. So I think I was just coming down with a bit of a cold, but with everything going on with how infectious it had been, and I believe at the time there had been an infectious hotspot somewhere in our state. So after speaking to my family about it, we kind of decided that the best idea was to go down and get a test, just to be safe, because as the good old saying goes, it's better to be safe than sorry. And especially with me, I constantly go visit grandparents and stuff like that. I didn't want to have any risk of putting them at risk of getting the virus if I did happen to have it. So I figured it'd be the best idea to go get a test, to be safe, to get it all checked out, and just to make sure everything was all good. So to get tested in Australia, basically what they're doing right now is they're kind of setting up at local medical facilities temporary COVID testing areas. So pretty much the best way to describe, I guess, how the whole testing area works, it's kind of like if you go to Macca's and go through the drive-thru. So basically what happens is you drive down to a local testing facility, you pull up into the car park or get in line, which I was actually really lucky with because I was the only person there, or I think I was one of the only people there the day I got tested. There's me and maybe one other person plus the doctors. So I was lucky in the fact that I didn't have to wait in an hour-long line to get tested. So that was really good for me, at least. And then basically, once you get through the line, which, like I said, I didn't really have to wait in, luckily, you basically just pull up to the first section, I guess, of the COVID testing area. It's a little, gazebo tent type thing, a temporary setup. And basically just talk to the nurses, give them your personal information. And I guess me and them kind of at the time, there was no one really there, so just kind of talked about what had been going on with the whole COVID thing and just life in general kind of stuff. So just a kind of generic conversation, because at the end of the day, they're people too, so, they don't want to just sit there and talk about COVID stuff all the time. They probably just want to have just a regular good old conversation and just, be normal, I guess. So, yeah, but kind of just filled out all the medical forms and just had a general conversation. And once that was done, basically she just gave me all of my personal information back and then just asked me to drive on to the next section of the COVID testing area. Now, this next section of the testing area was actually the last section of the, testing facility. And, of course, it is where you get the COVID test done. Now, for those of you who haven't had it before, basically it involves two swabs, one being at the back of your throat and the other one being at the back of your nose. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't super comfortable. It's not something where I'm gonna be you know what, I really want to go back and get another test. It's not great, but it's not bad either. It's not you're sitting there in pain just this hurts so much. It really isn't. It's I think for the throat test, from memory, it literally is just a 5-second swab on the back of your throat, and as long as you do what they say, it's not that bad. Now, when it comes to the nose swab, I know that's the one everyone's oh my god, what are they doing? They're getting a big old stick, sticking it all the way to the back of my brain through my nose. Oh my goodness, that's gonna hurt. Really, like I said, I've had it, because I had to have it. But after having it, it really isn't that bad. Now, yes, I'll admit, it still isn't fun, and just like the throat swab, I'm definitely not sitting there you know what? I really want to go back and get another. That was so fun. Because let's be honest. It's a nose swab. It's not really that fun. It's more, I guess, not painful, but just kind of irritating, because they kind of just stick it back in your throat, swab it around for like a couple of seconds, and it kind of just gives you that reaction of just being like, ah, why is this in my nose? Please get it out. So it's kind of weird to describe, but once they take it out, because yet again, like I said, it's only in there for like 5 or 10 seconds or something short like that, it basically kind of just feels like you've got a bit of a blood nose, like just a bit of a weird feeling in your nose. It just, like I said, feels a little bit off, like you're fine, but it feels like you should have like blood coming out of your nose. Like that's the best way I guess I would describe it. Like not painful, but kind of just annoying in a way. And the other thing from having that test too is because where they put the swab to actually get the like, I guess, I don't know, DNA sample, whatever it is they're swabbing, it, I guess, triggers something in your eye. Because I know like your nose and eyes, like tear ducts and stuff are all connected somehow. And it does kind of cause your eyes to tear up a little bit or like to really like water. So that is another kind of, I guess, weird thing from the test. But like I said, once it's out, it's really not too bad. It just feels like you've got a bit of a blood nose. And the other thing about the test that I found out, which I didn't even know about, apparently at the end of the test, because of, yet again, where they have to swab in your nose, they have to do a like short-term memory test. So they basically kind of just ask you questions like, what's your name? What's your date of birth? Where do you live? You know, etc., all that kind of stuff, which I gotta admit, I didn't even know that was a thing with the whole COVID testing. Like, I don't know, maybe it's the thing they just do in Australia as some kind of check. I don't know. So if you guys have had the COVID test below, let me know down in the comment section. Have you guys had that little like memory check too at the end of your test? Because, well, I know in Australia when I had mine, I did too. But yeah, basically after I had the little memory test, that was it. I was given the all clear. I was given all my information. I was told to self-isolate for a couple of days until I got my results, because just on the off chance I did have COVID, is, you know, you don't necessarily want to be having a COVID test to see if you got it because you think you've got it, and then going out, spreading it to everyone you know because you want to hang out and party, and then realize you've got it, and then you've just, yeah, and then realize you've infected all your friends and family and stuff, because, yeah, it's not really a good idea. But I know for me, like, it said it was going to take, I think, anywhere from like 2 to 3 days to kind of find out your results, and I actually found out my results within about 2 days, so it was actually pretty quick and, like I said, pretty instant results, which that was all good. But it was a little bit of a pain because I did kind of have to miss out on a mate's birthday. He had like a little event scheduled for us and a couple of other mates that weekend to celebrate with him, but unfortunately, because I was self-isolating, I kind of had to miss out on that, which kind of sucked. But oh well, like I said, better to be safe than sorry, because that would have been a terrible Christmas present to give him COVID if I had COVID. But luckily I didn't. And yeah, I kind of just spent the weekend, I guess, just doing some editing and just chilling out upstairs, playing a couple games and doing that kind of thing. And in that regard, I have to admit, I am still pretty lucky, I guess, with how everything went with the whole self-isolation thing, because A, it was pretty quick for me. Like, I got my results back really quickly. And B, in the fact of I didn't actually have COVID, so I didn't have to go through any of the experiences some of the people do. I was quite lucky in that respect, and know that a lot of people, their experiences with the whole COVID and whole COVID testing thing and the self-isolating thing has been a lot tougher, especially in, like I said, countries where it's a lot, or the outbreaks have been a lot bigger and a lot more, you know, widespread. But yeah, guys, so that's how my whole experience with, like, the whole COVID-19 testing and COVID-19 in general went. And like I said, I do know, guys, that in a lot of situations, in a lot of places around the world right now, it is so much worse for people because it is so much more widespread, and especially being as infectious as it is. But yeah, I figured I'd kind of just, like I said, share my experience for you guys, so that if any of you guys ever have to get tested for COVID, you at least can have some kind of understanding on the process and what happens and how it all goes, and just, you know, aren't necessarily going into it blind, and from, I guess, someone you kind of know, I guess, not completely, but kind of know, I guess, just through my content. And like I said, guys, if I could give you one tip of advice, please, if you think you might have COVID, if you're coming down with some of, like, the symptoms or anything like that, I don't know what COVID's going to be like when I upload this video, because it could be, you know, I could upload this video quickly, I could upload this video in a while, COVID could be completely gone. I really don't know, but if you guys think you do have any of the symptoms of COVID and you feel like you might need to get a test, just get a test, because like I said, it's not that bad, and it's better to be safe than sorry, because it probably wouldn't be too good to infect any of your friends and family and stuff. So be safe, look after yourself. If you need to be tested, get yourself tested. And yeah, like I said, guys, that was my experience, and I hope you guys did enjoy this video. A bit of a different video from what I normally do, and yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did like it, please like, comment, and subscribe. Also, for those of you interested, I've set up a channel Twitter account, and a channel discussion, and a channel Discord server, and a channel Steam page, and a channel Patreon, and a ton of other social media links, which are all linked in the video description below. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. See ya!